Hey, Math Moment Makers. It's Kyle here from the Making Math Moments That Matter podcast and makemathmoments.com. And it's actually the first official day of summer break. That's why I can come to you at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time here. And I'm really excited to do a little catching up, and hopefully we can do more of this throughout the summer to bring you up to date on what we've been up to at Making Math Moments, at the Making Math Moments That Matter podcast and makemathmoments.com. So in this particular video, we are going to dive into our first brand new 5-day problem-based math unit that we just released over the past couple of days. Now, I said first, it's actually the first one we've released this summer is what I mean, because we have over 30 problem-based math units ready for you to dive into. So stick around. That's what we're going to dive into here today. Yes, that's right. We have over 30 problem-based math units, and that is growing. We are actively writing, and because it's summertime, we now have more time to get up early and get working on those units, whereas during the school year, we're doing it late at night and early mornings on the weekends. So right now, we are really eager to keep going and pushing out more and more options and ideas for you. So if you're checking this out on Facebook, do us a huge favor. If you're liking what you see, hit that like button. Make sure you share it. Maybe share it to your favorite math or education group. If you're on YouTube, do us a favor as well and hit that subscribe button. Let's not waste any time. We're going to dive in. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the website. And actually, the way things look right now on the screen, it's like the live me, and then there's like the not live me, the live me, the not live me. But there's John and I. And on the website, if you've never been to makemathmoments.com, I encourage you to head there because, again, like we had mentioned, not only do we have information for the podcast, but really one of our big goals is trying to help students become resilient problem solvers, helping all students move along their math journey. So meeting them where they are and helping nudge them further. So as you'll see our 3-part framework. This is the framework that we use when we develop all of our problem-based math lessons, as well as our units. And if we keep on going down, you'll see there's actually a lot of things that you might want to dive into over the summertime, including our guide to remote learning. We've got a 4-part video course you might want to dive into. And then as we start getting closer to the new school year, our four tips to start the school year off right with the cheat sheet might be something you want to start wrapping your heads around. But with this particular video, we're going to be diving into our problem-based lessons and units. You'll see some of them shared up here on the screen, some of our favorites. But what we're going to do is we're going to head to the tasks area, and what you'll see are all of the different problem-based units up here. And our latest, the one we're going to be diving into today, is called Girl Guide Cookies. And it's all about understanding concepts of volume related to rectangular prisms. If you haven't checked out any of the other units, make sure you have a look. We've got a little filtering system up here to help you find what you're looking for. Lots of favorites in there. But today we're going to dive into Girl Guide Cookies. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give that a click. And what you will see with all of our problem-based units, up at the top, you're going to notice that we have an outline of how many days are involved in that unit. And throughout each unit, what you're going to notice is that we try to ride a context. So we introduce a context on day one, and we really try to build on that context so that students can really put themselves into the situation and bring more to the table. Students bring with them so many different assets, including the experiences that they have just through living life. So we want them to build or use that intuition as they solve problems. So On day one, we typically introduce a context by sparking some curiosity. You'll notice that that's the screen we're on right here. And then we work towards a sense-making prompt of some sort. We typically do this through reasoning improving. We try to get students to first make estimates, and then we have them use their mental math skills in order to leverage strategies and models in order to solve problems before revealing and then giving them some reflection prompts. Now you'll notice up at the top of the screen there, my screen may look a little different than your screen does. If you come to the site, you're going to be a logged out person unless you're a member of the Academy. You'll notice up at the top there's a sign up button there for Academy members. You could also join our mailing list. Each Monday we send out some resources and some tips for you in the classroom. However, you don't have to register in order to leverage these tools and these resources. So as you'll see here on day one, you'll actually have access to all of the problem-based lesson materials. And even on day one, you have full access to the teacher guide, which we're going to see. The only thing that a non-member misses out on are things such as our reflection prompts, our downloadable PDF handouts, so some of our purposeful practice, and some of those details that are members only. Also downloading the slide deck so you don't have to run them from the website. So again, right now, if you may have gone to mrorr-isageek.com, which is John's website, and you've probably been running lessons from his website, or maybe you've gone to tapintoteenminds.com, which is my website I used to share resources on. You would run lessons from the website. You can do all of those same things here. The part that you miss out on is more of the in-depth look, the in-depth, I would say, facilitation moves that we provide through some of the teacher guides on day 2, 3, 4, and beyond. All right, so I just wanted to clear that up. If you're thinking, I can't, I'm not a member. Something else you might want to note is that we have a 30-day opportunity as well. So you can dive in, maybe use it for the summertime, explore, and then determine whether some of those additional supports and courses we offer in the Academy is right for you. All right, so now that we've cleared that up, I want to actually share with you sort of how some of these units begin. So again, we usually use some sort of structure, a notice and wonder, or a would you rather, or something that will give students an opportunity to engage in the problem. After we share that notice and wonder, we might even give them a little more information. So for example, in this particular problem, we reveal a little bit more information. Oh, now we have multiple boxes here being shared. Oh, actually stack. It looks like, looks like 4 by a layer of 4 and then another layer on top. Interesting. And then we get students estimating. The question is, how many cookies do you think are in the top layer? And we encourage them to draw a diagram of how they would be arranged. So right now, students are being asked to estimate. They're utilizing this visual, and all students can enter into the problem. So for some students, they might be looking maybe at this top view and saying, you know what? I think there's 1 cookie, 2 cookies by 6 cookies. Or maybe a student says, no, the cookies are actually smaller. It's going to be 3 by maybe 9 or maybe 10. So students are going to have varying and different responses to how many cookies. But what's most important here is, how are they picturing these cookies being arranged? Are they leveraging an array in order to come up with this estimate? And then finally, we'll give them a partial reveal. We'll actually tell them, we'll say, listen, it is actually 2 cookies by 6 cookies in each box. I'm going to have you update your estimates now, giving all students an opportunity to enter into this, this task before we dive into our sense-making prompt, which is to draw a diagram of this arrangement. And then finally, what we're asking is for them to determine how many cookies are in the arrangement of boxes altogether. So if you're not picking up on things right now, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to get students to start thinking like in a volume in a three-dimensional sort of way. So we're getting them to think about, okay, well, how many cookies wide, how many cookies long, and how many cookies high? Or thinking in layers, how many cookies are in the bottom layer? Okay, well, if there's 3 layers high or 4 layers high, then I could repeatedly add those layers, or I could multiply by those layers, and we can start working towards generalizing for volume. So every day we have a nice reveal for you as well. You'll see here this video kind of counts it out, gives students this, feeling like, okay, this is for real. We're not just checking an answer key in the back of the book. They may have gone about it in different ways. So you'll notice we sort of filled up the first layer of each box, and then we doubled, and then we doubled again. So these are some of the strategies that students may be using in your class. So these are things for you to be considering, and as you're watching students learn and work through problems in your classroom. And then finally on day 1, we have a couple consolidation prompts here for you. Here we've got 18 boxes of chocolate placed in a larger box for shipment. And what we're asking them to do is draw a diagram, determine how many chocolates are in a single layer, and then how many chocolates all together. So we're working towards this idea of volume. And throughout the teacher guide, what you're going to notice is very clear information ahead of time. So this wouldn't really be for students. This is for the educator, for us as we prepare to facilitate these problem-based lessons. We even help you with, what you might say and do throughout the Notice and Wonder, what students might come up with, so that you're ready for that and working all the way through. And the part that I really love is some of the student approaches that we give you. Like, these are some of the things you might see students doing in an explanation or in student-friendly language, what they might be saying to describe their thinking. Here's another exemplar, and then finally a third exemplar. So those are some of my favorite parts. And then obviously the consolidation, ensuring that we have clarity around what it is we're hoping to achieve on day 1, so that we have a very intentional math lesson going on. And as we go through the other days, I'm going to share just the beginning of day 2 here for you. Day 2, we build on this idea of volume, except now we're dealing with dish pods. So you can see a little animation here where we're getting students to notice and wonder with these dish pods. And then we eventually land on this idea of how many dishwasher detergent pods are in the bag, and how do you think they might be organized. We even give them a to scale visual so that they can try to determine, how many are going to actually fit. Then we eventually give them a little more information so that they can update their estimates. And then finally, we reveal, and students can celebrate based on what they've come up with here. So again, really trying to ensure that students have a clear vision of volume and what's going on with volume as we work our way through this unit. So each day we build towards this idea of volume. On day 3 here, we won't play the image here, but this one's like now it's a carton of cookies. So kind of visualizing those Girl Guide cookies, like how many boxes of cookies fit in the carton, how many, if each box of cookies has this many cookies in it, then how many cookies would there be in total? Really leveraging this idea and really trying to promote this this multiplicative thinking, again with reflection prompts on each day and a printable PDF for you as well. We do it in Google Docs so that you can actually make yourself a copy, and you can add to it, modify, do whatever it is that you'd like to do with each day. On day 4, we go into purposeful practice. We have a math talk and some purposeful practice prompts there. Again, each day with a teacher's guide. And then finally on the 5th day, we go to a show your growth day. So starting with a math talk, and then students are showing us their understanding of volume from this particular unit. So this is the latest unit in our problem-based lessons and sets. And this is going to continue to grow. We tend to work in this upper elementary to middle school range or zone as a start. And the goal is to kind of work our way outward from there. So what I'm hoping that you'll do is you'll take a look, have a look around, and you know what? If you're intrigued or you want to dive into these lessons and start using them with your students, definitely join for that 30-day free trial. You can cancel anytime. We have, I think now, over 800 different Math Academy members from around the world who are diving in. And the beauty is that this is not even the main chunk of the Academy. The Academy really is a professional development academy. So we have all of our past virtual summits inside, as well as over 10 different courses that help you with conceptualizing math, with sparking curiosity, with taking your current curriculum and making it more curious so that you're not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So that is it for me today. I hope that you found this video, this time spent together, worthwhile. Again, do us a huge solid. If you've made it to this point, we would love it if you would hit that like button, share this if it's on your Facebook feed where you're watching. Make sure you share out, and maybe even share it to another group, because we want to really provide supports for as many math moment makers around the world as we possibly can. And if you haven't yet, make sure you listen to this week's Making Math Moments That Matter podcast episode. It drops every Monday, so look for it on your favorite podcast platform. That's it for me. Have yourself an awesome day, and I'm hoping to do this more often throughout the summertime. So we will see you around, and have an awesome start to your summer.